how can users monitor withdrawal data on-chain, and what dashboards have Metrika and Blockdaemon developed to help support the community?
Yes. So as Freddy mentioned, it's not going to be a transaction on chain that you can just monitor in the normal way. It's all included in block headers on the consensus layer and in the beacon chain. So at Metrika, we have been trying to collate this data into a dashboard, which I can share now. So this is our withdrawals overview dashboard. This one is focused specifically on withdrawals being brought in with Shapella. It starts with this tool at the top for validators to enter their public key, and it will either tell them what their withdrawal address is if they've set it, or tell them that they need to set it. Show some information about their stake and what they've how much their withdrawal address has received recently and how long it's been since their withdrawal address received a withdrawal. Then just some general network statistics. This is a relevant one. This is about the percentage of validators that have their credentials set, meaning that they will be able to receive rewards. We expect you've never been able to change your withdrawal credentials until Shapella. So this number is only from validators who set their withdrawal address when creating the validator. So it'll be interesting to see this increase. We visualize historically the activation and exit queues in these heat maps. So you can see that recently there was a large amount of activations, but no exits in the past time frame. And then a breakdown of this from why they're joining the activation or exit queues. This is an interesting one, as Freddy mentioned earlier. When Ethereum was proof of work, all rewards were given to the miners on the execution layer, which meant that it was immediately able to be sold. But since the merge, all rewards have been locked into the consensus layer, and this means that the circulating supply of ETH on the execution layer has had no mechanism of increasing, and this will be the first time that it's possible. So this is why we see the circulating ETH supply just decrease, because we take into account the ETH that's been burnt from transaction fees and the ETH that's being deposited into the deposit contract for validators that are activating. So it'll be interesting to see this for the first time potentially increase and see an increase in the circulating supply. This chart, when credential changes are enabled, will show them and visualize them. And this is quite an interesting one. It shows the distribution of ETH on the consensus layer. This blue band here are all validators that have fully exited and are waiting for Shapella. So this blue band will all be withdrawn completely, assuming that they've set their withdrawal credentials. A nice simple chart just showing how the active stake and active validators changes. We'll track obviously the withdrawals and the size of the withdrawals that we're seeing, the number of withdrawals per block, and then also the largest withdrawers, which withdrawal addresses are receiving the most withdrawals. And so that's our withdrawal specific dashboard. We also have recently launched this network upgrade dashboard, which is currently tracking the next upgrade being Shapella. So we have a countdown. We see the test networks that it's been launched on. So we're just waiting for mainnet now. And it also tracks the readiness of all of the client teams and the versions that are ready for the mainnet upgrade. And we're calling the network to get an idea of what the percentage readiness is of nodes on the network ready for this upgrade. And then just it includes some more general statistics for the network, because it'll be interesting to monitor this to see if the health of the network maintains stability after the hard fork, making sure that enough validators and node operators have updated their clients so that they can continue on the correct fork and continue attesting and proposing blocks. Yeah.
Great stuff. And Freddy, would you like to touch on the Blockdaemon's specific dashboard to help support the Ethereum community as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to reiterate on Torran. So the network monitoring, the network update dashboard, that can be used for any fork, basically, also in the future, obviously. While the withdrawal dashboard is specific to, the Shanghai, Chapella, Capella, whatever you name it, upgrade, and allows you to watch some of those things that we've discussed before. And one of the most frequently asked questions that we receive from our customers is actually, how long does it take to exit? And so I'm going to share my screen here and show the dashboard that is the Ethereum validator queue tracker, which we developed in conjunction with Metrika. And it allows you to track both the activation queue and the exit queue, both for the Girly testnet. If you're right now testing it, you can actually see that there's some people exiting the validators already on Girly in preparation for their processes, and obviously on Ethereum mainnet. Now, there's no activation queue at this point, and we have here on the exit queue, because right now there is no exit queue, obviously, before Chapella. We also show the countdown, and this data refreshes every hour. So you have an almost real-time view on the queue length. And like I alluded to earlier, we do expect quite a lot of action in those queue. No one knows for sure how long it takes, or if people would update their credentials first, which would take a couple of days likely before they could exit or receive rewards. So there's a number of different variables in this. So this is the core data table that we have here right on top. Below, we have additional resources, those dashboards that Torran just showed us. We also have a Chapella FAQ for stakers, quite extensive. And here we also have a visualization of the process for activating a validator, receiving protocols, rewards, and exiting validators. And you see here the purple first one here, that's the exit queue. Depending on demand on activation, there's a similar process for the activation queue. And this is really what the table above helps you to quantify. The rest is pretty clear on how long it takes. So that's why we decided to build this community resource to make it easier for people to see how long it actually takes during the Chapella fork. And then there's some additional resources down here. Yeah, and we're looking forward to sharing this with the community, and hope to get this used a lot and provide a lot of value.